Good morning, welcome back. It's Sunday, June 28th, and let's take a look now at the solutions for the test chapter 5. Now, before we look at those solutions, what I should tell you is these are sample exam questions. You're going to find similar questions on the final exam. In many cases, all I'm going to do is just copy and paste it in the exam, and then I'm going to change it up a bit, maybe the way the question looks. So how many files begin with the letter A? I might make it the letter D, for example. But if you study these questions, you know them well, you will be well prepared for the final exam. So let's take a look. How many directories are found in your home directory? So let's quickly take a look here on a Linux system. Now I see a tilde there in my prompt. Okay, so take a moment to try to find the tilde on your keyboard. It's usually somewhere in the top left. It's this symbol right there. Okay, so that is your home directory. Now, if you're not sure where you are, you type pwd, print working directory, and you can see the current location. Later today, we're going to understand exactly what that means when we see how to navigate a Linux system. Now, let's say you're not in your home directory. So I'm going to change directories now. Okay, and I'm somewhere else. So to prove it, I'm going to type pwd, print working directory, and we can see that we're in bin right now. Well, there are three ways to go back to your home directory. Let's clear the screen and let's type cd. We want to go home, so we can write out the full path if you know it. Go ahead and write it out. /home /system admin, or whatever your home directory has to be. So that is one way of doing it. A second way of doing it, and this is a lot easier, change directory tilde, or finally, my favorite way, cd with nothing after it. So if I press enter and I type pwd, I can see that I've returned to my home directory. So we want to know how many directories do we find in the home directory. So to do that, we just use the ls command, list files and directories. We press enter and we count them, and I think that's around 8. And how do I know these are directories and not files? Because of the color. They're dark blue. Okay, so we'll see that everything in the Linux bash shell is color-coded, and when you see dark blue, that's a directory, which means it contains files and it contains other directories. In question 2, we want to write out the full path of your home directory and what command did you use. By the way, make sure that as you do this, you're putting all your answers into WordPad. So I'll just show you what I'm expecting here. So question number 1, okay, so how many directories are in your home directory? Just type the number 8. You don't have to write much more than that. In question number 2, okay, so I'm just going to zoom in a bit here. Question number 2. Write out the path of your home directory and what command did you use to verify. Well, the command, we know what it is. It's pwd, and you can see what your home directory is. So let me do a copy and paste here. I think I can copy and paste it right out. So that's my home directory. I'm going to paste it in, and of course the command we used is pwd. So that's what you're going to be submitting. Just answer the question. Sometimes they just want you to give some information. Sometimes they just want you to give a command, and sometimes they want you to do both. Give a command and give information, but you don't need to write out the question again, just the question number. So let's go on to question number 3. And in question number 3, what is the size of your desktop folder? And the hint here is the -L command. So since we're there already, we will just type ls-l. All of this is right out of your right out of the labs. And you can see here the folder, and it is 4,096 bytes, and strangely enough, everything in there is 4,096 bytes. Don't expect that on most Linux systems. So 4,096, and you can include the command that you used, ls-l. Let's go on to question 4. So at this point, I'm not going to record the answers anymore. You get the basic idea of what you need to submit. Let's go on to question number 5 now. Question number 4. How many files begin with the letter A, uppercase or lowercase, inside documents? Well, if I clear the screen and I type ls right now, I see documents is a subdirectory of my current location. So I could just do an ls of documents. Okay, now let me do it the wrong way. First, ls documents, and I get an error message. So read the error message carefully. No file or directory found. Well, it's right there. Actually, it's case sensitive. We didn't use capital D. It needs to be a capital D. So this is one of the courses where you have to look at the screen very carefully. I guess all the courses are like that, and you'll get clues on what to do. So let's try that again. ls documents. And there we go. We have a bunch of files that start with A, so you can go ahead and count them. I think maybe there's about 6 files. In question number 5, how many hidden files are in your home directory? Well, let's clear the screen. Let's do ls again. Okay, I don't see any files, and I don't see anything hidden. Well, because they're hidden. So let's do ls and see all the files. -A for all. So we put that option in and we count them. So every file that has a dot in the beginning is a hidden file. And I think that's about 6 files that begin with a dot. In fact, you can do that yourself. So let's clear the screen. And I'm going to create 2 files. The command to create a file is touch. So let's touch new file. And when I type ls, there's the new file I just created. Look at the color. Okay, so it's a different color. Files can be green, they can be white, they can be many different colors, but they cannot be dark blue. Dark blue is reserved for directories. Now, let's create a hidden file. So, touch again is the command to create a file, and we'll start with a dot this time. So we'll call it new file 2. So it's almost the same command that we did last time, but if we press enter here and do ls, we don't see that file. Okay, I don't see it. So let's do ls-a, and if we look carefully, somewhere in there is new file 2 beginning with a dot. So files that begin with a dot are hidden files. What command will display your current login? Well, we can see our login name right here in the prompt. I'm logged in as Mr. System Admin, but what a lot of companies do is they will change the prompt. They might put like the date, for example, or maybe the company name, and you can't tell by looking at the prompt what your login is. In that case, you type the following command, who am I, with no spaces, and that will tell you who you're logged on as. So currently, I'm logged on as System Admin. If I log off and log on as Bob and type who am I will see Bob there instead. So let's go to the next question. Question number 7. What was the second command entered? Oh boy, I entered a lot of commands and I have a bad memory. So if you want to display all your previous commands, you type history. Okay, press enter, and these are all the commands that I typed since I logged in. And it looks like the second command that I typed was cd/. Okay, so history is a command we use quite often. In question 8, if I just want to scroll through the commands, my previous commands, okay, what was the command that I just used? History. Well, look at this. If you look at the lower right of your keyboard, you'll see arrows, up arrow, down arrow, left and right. So I'm going to press up arrow one time. And I see the last command that I typed was history. Let me press it again. Who am I? Well, that was the command that I typed just before. Let me press it again. So what I'm doing right now is I'm cycling through all my previous commands. And guess what? If you press the down arrow, you start going forward. So right now we're at ls-a. Let me press the down arrow this time, clear, and so on. So that's how you use the arrows to cycle through all your commands. If I hold the up arrow down, I see the first command I typed was pwd, and if I scroll up, that's exactly what's at the top of the list. In question number 8, we want to display the current path and what is the final location in it. So there's a small trick here. Let's clear the screen first. Okay, and to display a path or to display anything on the screen, use the echo command. Now first I'm going to do it the wrong way. Echo out path. Well, just put path on the screen. Linux doesn't know that this is a variable holding information. Okay, so the only way Linux can know that it's holding information is by preceding it with a $sign. Okay, so now when I press enter, I see the path and I see lots of different locations. Here's one, here's another one. Notice they're separated by colons. The very last location is right there. Just go to the last colon and do a right-click copy, and that is the last location. Now, we're going to learn about all these locations. USR doesn't mean user, home, bin, all these mysterious directories, we're going to learn about them soon. So I did a copy and paste, and voila, that's the last location in my path. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of the path? Well, when you type any command, Linux needs a file with that exact name, and guess where Linux is going to search for that file? It's going to search here, it's going to search here, it's going to search in all those locations. It's also going to search its memory. Okay, those are called internal commands or shell commands, and if it doesn't find anything, you get an error message. Okay, so anytime you type anything and press enter, Linux checks its memory for shell commands, doesn't find a shell command, then it's going to go to all these different locations and see if it can locate a file with the same name as the command. Which directory contains the command for echo? Well, I gave you a little hint here. Which? Okay, so that's a little reminder from the lab. Now, there is a find command. You can use that, but you might find multiple copies of echo. Okay, the echo program, the echo command file, there could be multiple versions of it. How do you know which one you're using? Well, you don't use find, you use which instead, and you type the name of the command you're looking for, which echo, and I see the echo file, which is responsible for the echo command, is located right here. And of course, I can do this with any command. Let me do another command that we're going to see very soon, fdisk, and I see it's in a different location. It's located in sbin. Bin is where we have the normal, everyday command files, and sbin are the dangerous ones, so only a super user can go there. And how did the which command know where to look? Well, we know the answer. The which command is checking your path variable. It's checking these locations here. So where does which search? It searches your path variable. Let's continue. Okay, we are now on to question 10. What directory contains the, we did that one. And then question 11, what value is your history size set to? Okay, well, let's take a look. History size is How many commands, how many previous commands is Linux going to remember? How big is the history going to be? Well, we just echo out the variable for